So again, trying to use the entire page for at least this composition. Taking a look at this lightly drawn, just the line of action, trying to show the base of where this character's feet are, just to keep that connection. So you have that as the base for the bird to kind of elevate themselves off of. And then, again, the circles are much different. Larger one for the top. Kind of looking for this overlap, you can see. And this character's kind of going from the top left to the right, building that section off. And if you were to look for any anatomy, kind of looking for the shoulders of a bird, for example, if you can think of it still as a cartoon idea, kind of just building this out as if these were arms, stretching it across like that. So coming down to the legs, kind of building that up if that was the pelvis of the bird. And just kind of building that section up there. It gives you a little bit to initially work off of. So it's just kind of the circular part for the head and the linear part, and as they go through, the same idea has the elliptical shape, maybe it's a little squared off, and has a center line right down the middle, and you're a little bit above looking down, so the vanishing point idea is you're tapering down a little bit, and that's the central section. So it's a little different than the other one, but it does have this circular part for the eyes, that same idea, a little bit larger, filling the characteristics of this character. And there's the nose or the beak in this case. And the top part for the feathers kind of sets this up real easily. Kind of builds that up. So all the preliminary drawing, again, don't worry about it, you'll draw right over it. And so it's giving you this initial setup here. So just trying to look for proportion to help you wrap these around, building this up. And again, just kind of following this center line that makes this circular section. And you see a little bit of the addition. So once you get the facial features, the head kind of organized, it kind of builds it up. But again, take a look for the center line, keep everything pretty basic. Kind of has like this collar of the feathers. Here's a center point for it. Building that part up. Circular part for the center of the body. So you can kind of get an idea of that section. They give a circular part for the kind of the reversed anatomy, the elbow of this character. These feathers. So if you just kind of keep the same, it has a line of action for the entire body, but when you get to the arms and stuff, it has a separate piece that still fills in with that section. So it just kind of gives it a gesture of all these feathers. It's kind of laid out like that. And the feet look as if they're attached to a branch that's on there. Kind of give a thickness to these legs. Overlapping of the foot there. So for the first two illustrations of this, it kind of gives you that entire setup. And then just kind of finishing it off with this guy here. And this is where you're kind of looking for a lot of the details in here. So the overlap of something like this with the ear. Wrapping it around. Even these top feathers kind of gives a center line for it. And again, even though this is a dark pupil, give it a highlight, gives a little more life to it. In there. These little lines that kind of show the depth of this action right there, building it in there. So a little more delineated once you get to the final lines that you're trying to create. And taking a look at the legs kind of gives a little more anatomy, at least with the knee coming up. And then taking a look at the different toe shapes. Once this is like the glove or the mitten for the hand. Up. And then just kind of taking a look at the arms and the feathers, that type of thing. Building that up in there. Build it up there. This has a little taper on the neck. And the circular part now is just kind of a suggested area in there. Builds this part up. A little indication of what they're standing on, but you can add to it. Lift that character up. So there you have it on the entire sketch. So see if you have that, you'll be able to ink the lines a little easier once you see it that large.